I just told you I'm 300 pounds, man. There's not much that I don't like to eat. 100% my grandma's cooking. If she's making me something to eat, I'm not doing anything. I'm there at the dinner table. I like pizza too, wings. I like cheeseburgers. Yeah, I like to eat. Eric Brathwaite, Lions track and field, urban studies major. This is a funny story. I tried to stay in shape for basketball. I just ended up getting a little big. The reason I started training at York was Charles beat me. Charles Okamalafi in the discus back in grade 10. Probably beat me by like 10 meters. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna try and get a little more serious in this. So Charles is definitely one of my motivations to throw. Although you could probably still beat me in the discus. Much dance pick, I think, of 2003. I know there's a couple Pink songs on there. Definitely Ja Rule. 100% when I bought the CD if Ja Rule wasn't on it. Hip hop, R&B, dancehall. I can't do house music at all. It plays for too long. My head ends up pulsing to the beat and I just don't feel good after. Say most of the time I'm listening to Fab. Nas I've been listening to a lot recently. Jay-Z is always up there. Seeing as how it's my last one, I want to go out with a bang. Looking to chase after the 2 records. Hopefully my training and everything is right on pace to do that. So the faster it gets here, the better I feel and the quicker I can get that done. Usually I'm used to rooming with Umar. I've now roomed with an Ojin. Unfortunately he snores a lot, like really loud. Luckily I like listening to music when I sleep, so it's not too bad. There'll be times where I'll be in the washroom and just think like a bear is attacking me or something. Last week in McGill he spilled my protein shake in my bag. My singlet was wet, crusted. Bro, I threw in Dave's singlet in all honesty. I was throwing in a medium singlet. The Flash, Arrow, Celebrity Apprentice, Grey's Anatomy I've been following. I watch Game of Thrones, Simpsons. If it's on, I'm watching it. Doesn't matter what I have to do. It's important or not, Simpsons will be on in the background of my house. I'll be laughing to that. Family Guy, all that good stuff. I'm basically a big kid, man. I don't plan on growing up. I'm watching my cartoons forever. I would say I've always been tall. I've never really had a growth spurt. I've had a growth outwards. I filled out. I came into university at like 230, 250 after my first year. And now I'm like 285, 295. I've been as heavy as 305. So probably say my growth outwards in the last 5 years is more impressive than my growth up. I always have all eyes on me. So if I slip, if I fall, it's pretty noticeable watching someone that big go down. I don't really like to sit down and eat, so I don't really have a favorite restaurant. I'm more comfortable laying down and eating. Much more comfortable. I get all my food to go and I'll go back to my bed and I'll lay down, even at hotels. Definitely Zteca, the only place I went, especially my first year. I was there for breakfast, lunch, dinner, second dinner, after practice snack, before practice snack. I was at Zteca like every day. Probably say Nojin. He's not funny as in he'll have a funny joke, but he just does some really questionable things. I remember one meet, we ended up convincing him that there was left-handed implements. He was convinced. I had him going for like at least 10 minutes that there was such thing as a left-handed shot put. Probably my grandfather who passed away 2 years ago. The last time I saw him I was young. Let him see the type of person I grew up into. He's also one of the reasons I still love cartoons, because as a kid he would always sit down and watch them with me and he wouldn't be like watching it and suffering, he'd be laughing along with it. So it's okay to watch cartoons for the rest of my life. I've determined that. And then Kelly Rowland is my wife, so I kind of have to meet my wife before I marry her. It's just a small detail. Honestly, it's knowing that you're representing something bigger than yourself. I've been to a lot of track meets and it's different putting on that line singlet and going out there for my team as opposed to going out and competing for myself. So anytime I have the opportunity to put on that singlet and know that I'm doing something for the team and the rest of the Lions community, I'm happy. I've never purchased a CD in my life. I have $1 billion. I'm not gonna see it again, so I may as well do it. We have a thing. Let's just say that. I told you I'm a big kid. I watch all that stuff. I just actually ate there last night and ate leftovers this morning. Kelly Rowland, my future wife, she doesn't know it yet, but the Backstreet Boys are comfortable boxers when I compete 100%.
Jen Black.
I can't say that too loudly here.
Hey Jen.
I really never listened to music.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. You put me on the spot. I can even enjoy a romantic comedy if it's funny enough, I'll watch it. Favorite dream job is a professional bum. I really have to be honest. If I can get paid for doing nothing, Chinese food, bunched up and I can't, man. The last time I ran a mile, it took me 10 minutes, and I thought I was gonna die in between. I didn't feel good after.